Joe to the Castle, what's up, guys? And today we're back with episode 4 of the Painkiller Already Opinions for PKA, episode 64. I have to get through this quick because there's a lot of topics and I don't have that much time with these two gameplays. These two gameplays are the first one's from a guy named The Losing Winner, and the second one is from a guy named Clutch Snipes, and he's actually the guy that made my background, so their links are down below. But this is actually my first full-length commentary with the new mic, so if you guys enjoy it, let me know down below. If you don't, tell me that as well, and I might still switch back to the old one. But anyway. They talked about a lot tonight. They jumped around from a lot of different topics. Like I said, I gotta get through this pretty quickly, without talking too long on one topic, which I always do. So anyway, they talked a little bit about in the pre-show, and I want to get through this one extra quick because I touched a lot on this last week. They talked about the Battlefield 3 editions, some things they are bringing back, and 3 things they talked about I really wanted to just throw out there. Wings talked about how the bipod basically made LMGs unstoppable and how it made them God mode. I didn't get a lot of experience with the bipod in the alpha when I had it. Simply because I didn't really know what I was doing for the short time that I did have it before I gave it away. So I didn't really experience it, but if it's as overpowered as he says, that could be a problem. Once again, I don't know that. If any of you guys held the alpha and experienced the bipod with the LMG, you guys will know that, and leave a comment on that down below as well. He said that these slugs were returning, which, to be quite honest, in Battlefield Bad Company 2, the slugs weren't that big of a problem. If you saw a guy sitting at a distance with a shotgun, it really wasn't that hard to dodge. I mean, you just had to get out of his way, and with the bullet drop and the bullet lag and stuff, there wasn't really much of a problem. It just makes shotguns realistic because in real life, guys, shotgun bullets don't just disappear after 40 yards; they keep going. But you have obviously less of a chance of hitting people as the spread gets bigger. And they also talked about incendiary ammo in Battlefield 3. Now, if that is true, that is going to be amazing to have incendiary ammo. That's actually realistic, unlike incendiary ammo in games like Borderlands, which obviously is a little out there. But I'd like to see how they interpret incendiary ammo. I've never seen any used, obviously, on a real person, so I'd like to see how that works out. But anyway, on to the actual show. That was just in the pre-show. And in the actual show, they talked, like I said, about a lot of different topics. So the first one they talked about was back from the Billionaire's Bash, or the Billionaire's Challenge, whatever that thing was called. They talked about the assisted suicide, and I just wanted a really quick touch on my opinions on assisted suicide, and once again, get some of your guys' feedback. In my opinion, assisted suicide should be completely legal. There's no reason to keep a person alive that doesn't want to live. I don't get why they stop people from jumping off, roofs or killing themselves or anything like that. If the person doesn't want to live anymore, it's their life. You should not, make that choice for them. They make that choice for themselves, and I think it should be that way no matter if they're in a hospital setting, if they're in their living room, or if they're standing on top of a skyscraper. They should be able to make that choice and ask for help from a doctor to inject them with, a chemical that would kill them. I think that should be completely legal. And yeah, so anyway, on to a little bit of some lighter topics here. Well, actually, not really lighter topics, just a little bit lighter than that. They talked about kind of bullying, and from that clip in Australia where the kid slams the guy to the ground after getting bullied, and they kind of talked about some punishments for things like internet bullying or bullying in general. When you be presented before a court. Guys, if you cause somebody to kill themselves, they talked about this girl Megan Myers, which if you're interested in that, look that up on the internet. But basically, she was caused to kill herself over the internet, and if you cause somebody, whether it be through Facebook, Twitter, Xbox Live, anything like that, if you cause somebody to take their own life, you should be held responsible for that, or even if it's in real life. If you bully someone to the point where they have the need to kill themselves, you're responsible for that, and I do feel that you should be held, maybe not for, first-degree murder, any super severe charge, but at least for something such as selling manslaughter. I'm not a judge. I don't know any court terms or anything like that, but some charge that you could face a good amount of jail time for, because in the end, you help to take a human life. It's almost as if you stab them and let them bleed out. You caused to take that. So I definitely think there should be punishments for that. But that's all the dark stuff I wanted to talk about. That I wanted to get that out of the way first, because the PKA is not about all that stuff. Neither is this opinion show. I like to talk about video game related stuff, but I felt I should touch on that a little bit. So anyway. They talked a little bit about the map pack coming out, which is a Resurrection. If you guys haven't heard about that, you could probably Google that, and there's tons of videos on it on YouTube and stuff. But it's an all zombies DLC coming out. And I'm super psyched. I'm glad that Treyarch finally listened to the community and are releasing all Zombies DLC. It's basically the 4 World at War maps you would have gotten had you gotten the Hardened or Prestige Edition when it came out, and a new map called Moon, which you get for free if you got the Hardened or Prestige Edition. So that's super cool, and that kind of transitions to the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is when you release a limited edition of a game, what all should you include with it? I honestly think they talked a little bit about getting like alpha and beta codes and stuff. Honestly, I think that's the best thing to do. You can give me an RC car, you can give me free maps, stuff like that, but to be completely honest, I want to be able to play a game early. If I'm spending an extra $20, that $20 should be for something that I want. They should give you like a list of options you can choose from. Do you want the RC car, do you want the 4 maps, or do you want an early alpha code or an early beta code? I think that'd be super cool if they did that. Once again, it's really personal opinion on that, but as a YouTuber and as a person that makes videos, I honestly think that'd be really cool. They also talked about combat training in Black Ops. Should that come back in Modern Warfare 3 is kind of what I took from that. I don't know. Combat training's fun and all. It's fun to mess around with friends, but honestly, as a game type and as something you actually would do on a regular basis, Zombies is a much better alternative to that. They also talked about, this one I actually wanted to take a little bit of time on. They talked about when games should be released and kind of some moves that games have made in the past. Guys, between March and, early to late September, there's nothing released. No big titles have been released this year. They threw Brink in there, I think. I think that was after March. I can't even remember. But this has been such a dead time. And, as a person that just switched platforms, sold all my console games, and really can't afford to go out and buy a bunch of, newer PC games, there's really nothing to do. And I think this would be a great time for games like Elder Scrolls Skyrim that's going to definitely compete with COD, or Assassin's Creed Revelations, which is also going to compete with COD. Battlefield and COD are going to dominate Christmas. They said just COD. Battlefield 3 will have its say in there, but they are going to destroy the Christmas gaming season. So why you would throw out, a game that you put so much time and effort into right when the best-selling video game series of all time is releasing its new title is beyond me. But honestly, if I were, a marketing director or whoever decides that stuff, I'd shoot for early August or even late July, somewhere in there, where, what's it called? That Cartel. I cannot remember the name of it. You guys know what I'm talking about. Came out July 19th. Or something like Deus Ex Human Revolution's doing with August 21st or 23rd release date. They're hitting a time, or even Dead Island, they're hitting a time where not a lot of stuff's coming out, and it's really a dead gaming season. And honestly, I think that would be a great time for games like Skyrim to come out. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to touch on that. I'm going to have to skip over some stuff because I'm running out of time here, so let me look over the list. They talked a little bit about World of Warcraft, like I talked, versus Call of Duty. Guys, I looked up the stats. World of Warcraft has 11.1 million subscribers. COD has sold 55 million titles in total. At least that's what Wikipedia said. But since Black Ops, I think, sold 25 million in itself, I find that a little hard to believe. But at least 55 million copies. It's pretty obvious who wins that battle. And like they said, for time constraint, COD dominates basically even games like Battlefield. And that's a transition into my next topic. Guys, I cannot post Battlefield Bad Company 2 footage, and really no YouTuber can without a ton of editing, because the games, I played a 3.5-hour Conquest game a couple weeks ago on Battlefield Bad Company 2. The games are ridiculously long. That's one thing that COD has going for it, and I think that's why it dominates the gaming community, is because the games are at the longest. And this is probably, a 7-round search game. That each round is almost time limit. That's only, about 11 or 12 minutes. Domination, that's only 10, 12 minutes. Games like that, that's about as long as they go. That's perfect time for a commentary. This video right now is about 11 and a half minutes, and this is 2 gameplays. I think the first one was a TDM or a domination, and this is a free-for-all. So, they go very quick, and they're really easy to do commentaries on. So, that's why I think COD will always dominate the YouTube market and the commentating market, just because of the time. And on to the last thing I wanted to talk about, and this covers a few topics I have written down. Modern Warfare 3. And they talked a lot about different things they were going to incorporate and what they would wish they would incorporate. And one of those things was gun skill. And Wings brought up the point that gun skill is you being able to aim across the map and pick a dude off through a window with an assault rifle when all you can see is his head. Yes, that's one form of gun skill. I'll give him that. But guys, you also got to realize gun skill is just being smart with what you do with your gun. It's it's basically pre-firing around corners. It's knowing when to hip fire, when to aim down sight. It's knowing when, what gun is okay to use a red dot on what maps and what you really don't need it. Such as on this map. The MP5K does not need a red dot on this map. Well, the MP5 doesn't really ever need a red dot. But guns like FAMAS, you're not going to get in any long-range engagements on this map, firing range. You're going to, be able to sit back, or not sit back, but rush in there and get some close range stuff. So steady aim might be a very good perk because you're going to be hip firing a lot. On a map like Array, maybe some Ghost with a red dot on a red dot silence FAMAS. I can't remember the perk combinations. I think, no, Warlord's a second perk, so you could do that. It's all about knowing, it's knowledge. Gun skill basically boils down to your knowledge with a gun, in my opinion. Now, you guys can have your own opinions. Everyone has opinion. That's part of life. So that's just what I think gun skill should be. It shouldn't be based on who can shoot who at longer range more effectively. Gun skill is gun skill, and that also transitions into Modern Warfare 3 supposedly is going to focus more on gun-to-gun battle instead of gun-to-air support, or aka air support completely destroying an enemy team in their spawn. But Wings blew up about that and freaked out because, he relies a lot on kill streaks. And a lot of people do to get gameplays. I'm not saying that's bad. That's part of the COD series. But Wings, basically he really, really got upset over it. And, I wish kill streaks would go away to an extent. COD 4, I still think, had it perfect. You got a UAV, okay, which helps you, helps your team. Then you got an airstrike, which is very quick. It's, it's not hanging over anything like that. Then you got a helicopter, which is not that hard to dodge if you're on the enemy team. It's fairly easy to take down. And it keeps the player in the battle and keeps the engagements going. So that's just my opinion, guys. I'm out of time. I rushed this one really quick, and I apologize. But if you have gameplay, send it in. I'm running out of these gameplays to use for this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, these two guys' links are down below. Tell me if you like the new mic, and I will talk to you guys later.